Guys, what is going on? So this is Chris Colgan with eXp Realty based here in Virginia. And Lake Anna, Virginia, an area I am really familiar with, was just named the #1 place in the United States to own an Airbnb or a short-term rental. So in this video, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about what is Lake Anna, why I think it was named that, and some resources for you as well if you're thinking about buying a short-term rental in that area of Lake Anna. So let's get right into the video. All right, guys, like I said, I'm a realtor based here in Virginia. I sell homes in Lake Anna, and the reason I know so much about it, growing up, my grandfather had a house there right on the water, and then we would drive down every weekend. We live here in Northern Virginia, and then also my parents have a lake house there on the water in Lake Anna, Virginia. And why was Lake Anna named the #1 place to own an Airbnb in the United States or a short-term rental? But let's go through. There's a couple of reasons why, especially like a lot of people have been asking me this recently, especially people that have never heard of it or exactly don't know what it is. So let's kind of talk about that a little bit more. Let me pull up one of the articles from Travel and Leisure where they talk about it. Now, one of the things that I think was a little bit of a misconception when this article came out, and it was on Fox News, it was pretty much all over the place, but they talk about how the average or the medium sales price there is $350,000. Now, everything in real estate is all about what? Location, location, location. So obviously, if a property is gonna be right on the water, on the lake, which that's gonna be a lot more expensive property, it's not gonna be $350,000. So some people that have actually called me to say, hey, I'm interested in buying a property at Lake Anna, and my budget is up to $400,000, and there are some rare condos on the water there and some rare townhouses that you might be able to make that work in that budget. But keep in mind, a good house that's going to rent out for a ton of money, that's going to be popular, is going to be a lot more money than that, than $350,000. So that was one of the things I think was a little bit misleading in the article. But they go on to say 200 miles of shoreline close to Washington, D.C. The average rental income is around a net of around $81,293 with a cap rate of 12.2%, and then one of Virginia's best destinations. So exactly why was Lake Anna built? There's actually a power plant there owned by Dominion Power, and basically the lake was built where it goes to the public side and they pull water out, it goes to the power plant, and then it actually cools down the reactors, which I know sounds kind of crazy, like who the heck would want to swim there, but it's a very popular place. And the water goes out to the other side of the lake, which is a private gated side area. Now, I don't really know much about the private side. I've only been over there a couple times, but the public side, if I was gonna do an Airbnb, is definitely gonna be the side that I would wanna stay on. That's where my family's always owned a house on. Reason being is that's where the beach is located, the public park. There's a huge Lake Anna State Park there located there as well. And that's also where you can pull up your boat to the restaurants or maybe over to the brewery and stop and walk up there. And there's all kinds of public landings. I have just found that the public who does the Airbnb, that is a lot more popular destination. A really cool thing that's there, I wish I had some good drone footage of it, but it's hard to get over there. But there's this place called a sandbar where people actually pull up and they party on their boats, and there's actually a DJ on a boat. So there's all kinds of activities. So what I have found is people more or less like to be on that public side of the lake, and it is also actually huge. So there's all kinds of different activities over there, and they go on to say the medium home value is $435,000. Now you can definitely get a house off the water with some kind of maybe like boat access, but no like any type of landing or dock around that price point. When you're talking a really nice house on the water at Lake Anna, you're looking at around $800,000 or up. And they also have plenty of jet ski and boat rental companies, all kinds of things like that you can do as well. Especially that's great if you have renters coming for just a week. They're not going to own a jet ski or a boat, and obviously this lake allows powered boats and jet skis. There's all kinds of water sports there, water activities. One thing that's really popular right now is like jet skiing, like I say, which honestly there's a lot of police in Lake Anna and they've really cracked that down. But all kinds of just wakeboarding is another huge activity that's popular in Lake Anna. And then there's all kinds of vineyards and everything like that in the area. And then like they also go on to mention Lake Anna Winery, and the state park is actually 3,000 acres big. So let's talk about the main reason, probably why you're watching this video, is like, hey, I want to buy an Airbnb there. I want to get into it. What do I need to know? Well, I can tell you right now, we send out a VIP list, and all you got to do is either email me info@colganteam.com or follow me on Instagram @ChrisColganTeam, and you can just email me, and we're not annoying or anything like that, but you just give us our email, and whenever we see a brand new Airbnb property hit the market there, and then also a couple of great other areas in Virginia here, we will send you out that property, and we try our best to get the numbers tours for you so you can actually see it. But let's talk a little bit more about like owning a property at Lake Anna. What is there to need to know? Like what exactly are you gonna look for? So let's just go ahead and look. Like right now I went ahead and I pulled up this coming summer, right? Because this is obviously going to be a summer destination. So you can see $688 a night or $6,000 for the week. So you can see right now during the summer, my dad's neighbor, I think my parents' neighbor, they get like $10,000 a week. So houses here go for a lot of money. From what I have seen from a lot of the other places, it's very common to maybe like the Outer Banks where multiple families will rent them, or maybe there's a wedding in town or a bachelor party. So there's a lot of different people that will rent. And a lot of times you'll see a lot of bigger families all rent together. So that's why you want to find a place that actually does have a lot of bedrooms and it also has dock access. That is going to be huge because a lot of people are going to want to pull their boat up. But you can see, look, you know, $1,000 a night, 6-bedroom, 5 lakefront bathrooms, $773 a night, $384 a night. So a lot of these places are getting a ton of money. So let me give you a good example. I found a house that was for sale and it was around $900,000 was the asking price. Their net income was around $81,596. Now, here's the one thing you got to keep in mind with Lake Anna. We're in Virginia, right? It gets cold during the winter and pretty cold here. So it's not going to be really used during the winter. Your house is either going to be empty or maybe you can find some snowbirds from DC that might want to hang out there and stay at the property. But as you can tell, in April, May, June, July, August, down to September and October, that usually are the peak months of Lake Anna, especially around April. Some of the schools here in the Northern Virginia or DC area start to get out around early May, and that's when you're going to see the peak season. Now, a good resource, and the company that actually did all their research and decided that Lake Anna was the #1 destination is this I think it's Via, I don't know how they say it. But anyways, they will actually, if you find a house that you want to buy or put a contract on, they will actually do some extra research with you. You do have to do a consultation call, and they can tell you, hey, this is what we think this house will rent out for. The person on the example that I use now, they actually use them, and they're the ones that got $81,596 for the year in net income. Now, keep in mind, like I said, they can manage the whole thing for you. If you're not here locally in Virginia, there are plenty of other companies in Lake Anna. It's not something that we do, but they can definitely help you manage it as well. And like I said, if you just give them a shout, they will give you a good estimate of what they think you can make on the house by renting it out as a short-term rental. And they put it on all kinds of different houses, different areas for you. Virginia Beach is another popular area as well, but I definitely feel like Lake Anna would be a lot better for people who are looking to do like that appreciation as well as the Airbnb thing. So let's talk about a couple other little things. So why is Lake Anna also really popular, and why is this going to continue to blow up? So pulling up this map here, you can tell, well, of course, traffic, especially if you're not from the area or you're not from Virginia or DC, traffic around here is pretty brutal. One of the most brutal roads in the United States is Route 95. But as you can tell, it's only about 90 miles from Washington, DC. So you have DC here, and then you have Lake Anna here. And so Lake Anna is kind of in the middle of Virginia. Another great thing is you have Richmond, Virginia. Let me just pull that up right here. So Richmond's also close, but Northern Virginia, 4 of the most wealthiest counties out of the top 10 in the United States are located in Northern Virginia. So a lot of people have money. It's a very close lake that they can drive to. The next closest lake that would be of this size would be all the way down towards Roanoke, Virginia, down towards this area that gets a lot further out. So it's called Smith Mountain Lake, which is another nice lake. And you can see there's also all kinds of different roads. You can take Route 66 all the way down to Culpeper, Virginia, or Warrenton, Virginia, and go right in to Lake Anna. Then also close to Lake Anna is Charlottesville, Virginia, and that's where UVA, the college, is located. So there are just a ton of major cities around, and then you have Dulles Airport, and you also have DCA, and then Richmond has an airport as well. So you can see why this is a really popular destination. The other thing is there's just not a lot to do there. It's not really overcrowded with different stores or shops or just a few restaurants. They are trying to build a marina. So the people that go there really go there for more of a relaxing vacation and a good time. And that's why I feel like it's been such a good, popular area. But again, just keep in mind, if you're a family and you have a couple different families together and the median income in Northern Virginia is around $150,000 per family, you're probably gonna not wanna drive too far unless you got onto the Outer Fairbanks, North Carolina. So a lot of these people have started to use Lake Anna as their main destination, and these houses get booked up. Like I said, my parents' neighbor, he gets anywhere from 10 to 12,000 a week for his house during the peak summertime. So here's the big question, right? A lot of people will message me and say, hey man, you know what? I'm approved for a lake house, or I want to do a second loan. But the problem is, just keep in mind, you on your own, unfortunately, are going to have to do a lot of your own research, especially when you own a short-term rental. One of the cons are, yeah, you know, as being an agent, we only know so much. We can give you the reports and rental history, but you will also have to study on your own, do some research, and be like, all right, if I buy this house, what will it rent for? What can I make? What will my net be? What you have to go through and decide, are you going to hire a local company? Are you going to be willing to drive there if something bad happens, or are you just going to have a management company? Definitely keep that in mind. The other thing is, a lot of these properties are going to be on well and septic. So if you are buying a property, you're going to get that checked out as well if you're not familiar with those. I have heard of some people's wells running low on water during, and they have a ton of people in their house. And keep in mind, this is a short-term rental, right? So people treat it like a hotel room. Your house is not always going to be kept up in the best shape. So it's kind of a tough pill to swallow if you're spending $1 million on a lake house and to see it get torn up. But the income can definitely be there. So one of the cons, like I said, is owning one of these short-term rentals is they can definitely get torn up a lot. So I would consider hiring a management company. That's definitely something that we can point you in the right direction. So here's what I would do. If you're looking about buying a house here in Lake Anna to do as an Airbnb or short-term rental, definitely hit us up. We can put you on a list. We'll email you whenever a new property comes up that we feel like is worthy, and then we will do our best to get you numbers. And then if you do want to take a look at it, we can definitely do a virtual showing for you, or we can drive down, meet you there, do whatever you want. We'll show you the area, show you what the lake is all about, what the lake life is all about. But just keep in mind, like I said, during the winter, it's very slow. And during the summer, when houses are for sale, those houses usually are rented out, so they are a little bit harder to see as well. But I hope you appreciated this video and enjoyed all the information that I dropped here. I know it's not like a big tour of Lake Anna or anything like that. I've done other videos like a pros and cons on Lake Anna, but I feel like Lake Anna is just going to be huge. There's not a lot of water sport activities in the DC area unless you go out on the Potomac or something, and most people don't want to do that. So when you're talking, like I said, wakeboarding to rafting, whatever, even being kayaking, Lake Anna has definitely been a vacation choice. It was kind of a hidden gem, but then this Airbnb announcement made it a lot more popular destination, which I know has made some locals mad. But anyways, shoot me a message if you want to get on our list, and as always, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you at the top or from the top.